to see you all. We've had a very interesting morning. And Michael Tatlock was our guest speaker for the first service this morning, and we had no musicians. And I don't think that's ever happened at this center. And then we called Teresa James, and she said she would come. So yay! Yay! It's discombobulating. I don't know how else to say it. And yet, first service handled it beautifully because our own Jeanette Meyer got up and sang with a cappella. Yes. Oh, she played on the piano as well. I mean, that she knew how to turn on the piano is a miracle. Oh, one of the lads showed her, I guess, yes. Well, there you go. Now you know everything. Now you know everything. I just want to welcome you if you're here for the first time. We're usually very organized on Sundays. You know, that's part of our job to be organized. But the best laid plans of mice and men, as Shakespeare said. So our call to service is called Lighting the Flames of Faith. And we perform this ceremony to promote the universal consciousness of life, which acknowledges that all peoples, all faiths, all sentient beings come from that one great universal principle, which we call spirit. Fundamental to this truth is the unifying nature of all religious thought and experience, which we honor here today. As Andrea lights the first candle, it is for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. The second candle we light for the shamanic traditions, honoring the beliefs and practices of all indigenous peoples, the way of primal spirituality. We light the third candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light the fourth candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light the fifth candle for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. The sixth candle we light for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. The seventh candle we light for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of submission to the will of God as the highest calling. We light the eighth candle for the universalistic religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. The ninth candle we light for all forms of new thought, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles. The 10th candle we light for all those who are as yet unaware of the power and presence of spirit in their lives and for the space we hold for them here at this center and in our hearts. And as Andrea lights the healing candle, please put silently into the light the names of anyone you wish to have experience the healing flame of God's eternal love. This morning our presider is Andrea Recht, and she is also our new board president. Would you give her a warm welcome?
There is one flame that burns in our hearts. There is one light that shines through our love. We light this flame with faith. We find this light within our own soul. There is one flame, one light within.
And it is with a very grateful heart that I take this opportunity to recognize this one flame, this one light, this one life that is expressing itself in, through, and as all creation, this infinite intelligence that is everywhere present. It is omnipresent, omniscient, omnipotent, all-knowing, all-giving, all-loving, and all-good. And I recognize because it is everywhere, it is right here, right now, expressing as my life and as the life of each of us here, all those who are online, all creation, everywhere. God is, and God is all there is. Oh, and that brings me such a sense of gratitude and relief to know that all is good because all is God. And so I take this opportunity to bless this morning's service, knowing that it is, in fact, a divine idea in the mind of infinite intelligence, and it unfolds just like first service in absolute perfect order. That everything unfolds exactly the way it's supposed to. And we can say that it's all good because we know that it's all God, and God is good and only good, the highest good, gracious and only good. And so I bless Reverend Maureen as she steps forward and allows infinite intelligence to be the place from which she speaks, knowing that this service shifts us and lifts us into a new understanding and a new way of being that we did not have when we entered this sacred space, but we have it when we leave. And so I give thanks for all of it. I give thanks for each person here, recognizing the divine in each of them. Everyone online, I'm so grateful. As I release this word to that aspect of infinite intelligence known as law, which always and only says yes. So I know it is done, I know it is so, and we can affirm this together by saying, and so it is. Good morning. I'm happy to be here. I'd like to say Happy Easter. Come on, Happy Easter. You don't think that's funny? And happy Passover coming up, a little early, but happy everything. I wanted to share something with you that's really exciting for this center. I received this email that was forwarded to me and some of us by Reverend Mike. And it's from Centers for Spiritual Living, the executive director from Centers for Spiritual Living, home office, I guess it's called. And it says, Dear Reverend Mike, I'm writing to you personally because what your center has done deserves to be said out loud and said with gratitude. Granada Hills Center for Spiritual Living is one of 18 centers in the entire Centers for Spiritual Living community that has stepped up in an extraordinary way. Your consistent and generous financial support of the home office, which means that we are sharing 5% or more of our budget in 2026, is making it possible for this movement to sustain, grow, and serve communities around the world. And because of that, I am proud to formally recognize Granada Hills Center for Spiritual Living as a super center of Centers for Spiritual Living. This is not a small thing. So we have a lot to be proud of, and I'd just like to give us a round of applause because it's because partly of your generosity that we are able to do this. So let's hear it for our super Center for Spiritual Living, Granada Hills. It's very exciting. The other thing I wanted to share with you is I did just get elected as your board president, and I am honored to be in that capacity again. I've done it before, and I'm happy to do it again. And I'm grateful for your confidence in me in this way, and I will promise you that I will do the very, very best that I can to continue being financially responsible for this center and all the good that you contribute. Having said that, I think many of you were here when we did our grid. I think it was for the parking lot that we had a grid donation fundraiser. So we need a new roof. So we have this, Reverend Mike did this as one of his last hurrahs. Each square is $250, but you can share a square, you can divide it up in fours, however you want to do it. We've done this for the parking lot, and it went very smoothly, and we raised a lot of money very quickly. We came together as a community when we needed to raise some money for our account to look good when we were trying to refinance. And so we had a Get Her Done Fund, it was called. Some of you may remember that. Bonnie and John probably remember that. You guys were here. And it went very well. And because of that, we have a really great mortgage today. So this is happening now. And if you're prepared to write a check today, Danny will happily take your money. You can use credit card. You can do it online. For those of you online, this can be done on Zelle. It can be done on the donate button, but please, or PayPal, please designate somewhere that it's for the roof fundraiser. So we have that to look forward to. And finally, because my time is almost up, I want to share this Ernest Holmes quote with you that says, "We are continuously living a new life. And when the old and the new do not fit nicely together, the old, no longer able to contain the new, should and could be discarded." And I'm sharing that quote with you because spring, for me, represents a new start, new beginnings, that is unbound by anything from the past because Spirit is infinite. This time of year always reminds me that change is inevitable and can be very, very beautiful. I was reminded of this when I was at my daughter's house in Burbank a couple of weeks ago, and I pulled up to the front of her house and parked under a tree that had no leaves on it at all. It was bare. And then I showed up like a week or 10 days later, and there they were, showing their beautiful little selves, leaves on the tree again. And I know that'll happen again. As we progress through the year, those leaves will fall off again. But because spring represents a fresh start for me, we get to spring forward and leave behind what no longer serves us. And I'm always reminded of this idea that for me, when I'm clinging to something, because I think it should be a certain way, oh, it shouldn't be like this, it should be like this, and I'm clinging to how I think it should be, I suffer. But when I let go and allow things to be exactly as they are, the suffering stops, and I can just be a part of what is. So happy spring, happy Easter, happy Passover, and let's get this roof done, yes? Yes. Thank you.
I can see clearly now. Rain disappear. Here's the rainbow that I've been praying for. Yeah, it's gonna be a bright, bright sunshiny day. Gonna be bright, sunshiny day. Look over there, nothing but blue skies. Look straight ahead, nothing but blue skies. I think I can make it now that the rain is gone. All those bad feelings disappear. Here is the rainbow I've been praying for. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. Gonna be bright, sunshiny day. Oh, so bright, a bright, sunshiny day.
That was beautiful, Teresa. Thank you so much for showing up the way you do. The spur of the moment. Let's give it some more love to Teresa. Teresa James. So, announcements for today. Practitioners are available for treatment in the front room there. 2-minute tune-up. If you're a licensed practitioner, please raise your hand. A lot of us here today. You can also find a practitioner online at cslgh.org. Wednesday, April 1st at 7 o'clock, the Science of Mind discussion group takes place. Participate in readings, questions, and answers with Reverend Maureen and Reverend Nancy. Love donations graciously accepted. I think this week we're going to have Reverend Maureen and Vinu to host this wonderful discussion group. Thursday, April 2nd at 6:55, Spiritual Unity Movement will host their monthly full moon celebration with guest speaker and musician Elise Carver. The month of April honors the pink moon. Last month it was the worm moon, I think. Saturday, April 11th at 11 o'clock, Braver Angels will host their documentary viewing of Bridging the Gap here at CSLGH, the Super Center for Spiritual Living, Granada Hills. A light lunch will be served, a free event. This free event is open to the community and speaks on how we can connect with each other across various differing points of view. I am challenged by that sometimes. So come be a part of the conversation, and please RSVP on the sign up in Sparks Hall or call Danny and let her know you'll be coming. Friendly reminder, Easter Sunday, April 5th, one service only at 10:30. So please come and join us. And the gratitude box is going to be brought up by Miss Chloe. Here she comes.
It says, I am grateful for my love, and I am grateful for love and angels.
Yes, I'm grateful for love and angels. Thank you, Chloe. So if you will, please stand up, and if you can, if you feel like it, and join us as we recite our Declaration of Principles. This is what we believe. We believe in one universal spirit, manifesting through all, natural and incarnated in us. We believe that the universal spirit is personal to and reveals itself through everyone who recognizes its presence. We believe that our faith operates upon a law of mind which automatically manifests in our experience according to that faith. We believe in the unity of all life and in the immortality of the individual soul forever expanding. We believe in the eternal goodness, the eternal loving kindness, and the givingness of life to all.
I got up this morning singing, God is so good. I got up this morning singing, God is so good. I got up this morning singing, God is so good. My God is so good to me. I'm feeling good down in my soul. God is so good. Feeling good down in my soul. God is so good. Feeling good down in my soul. God is so good. My God is so good to me. Sing it one more time. I got up this morning singing, God is so good. I got up this morning singing, God is so good. I got up this morning singing, God is so good. My God is so good to me. Well, I'm feeling good down in my soul. God is so good. Feeling good down in my soul. God is so good. Feeling good down in my soul. God is so good. My God is so good. My God is so good. My God is so good to me.
Yay! Teresa didn't know she was going to be here this morning, and boy, oh boy, aren't we glad? You know, if you ever get a chance when Teresa and her band are playing somewhere, some of you I know like to dance, because I can tell you, white people can dance. Anyway, go and have a visit with her band. We went to a winery. I don't drink, but we went to a winery in Ventura. And it was a cavernous place until the band started playing. Voices echoing off the walls. And then at the end, almost everybody was up dancing. Yeah, good. She's good with the band, too. She's good with the band. So good morning, everyone. How are you? Yes? Good? Great? Wonderful? Maybe not yet. You might be at the end of the talk. Yes, I do have it. I can do my own PowerPoint. Being a possibilitarian. That is the topic for the morning. Thanks for being here. You know, it would be kind of sad if I didn't have anybody to talk to. You know, the theme for this month has been what if. And most writers, I teach a writing class, but most writers who read would know that the question what if is only good for people who write mystery novels. It doesn't do us any good to what if because we're futurizing. And that's where the fear steps in, right? You know, what if every dream, goal, or aim we ever had or wanted to have came to fruition? What would life be like for us? What if there were no obstacles to having whatever we desired in the present moment? And that's kind of a trick question because in the present moment we have everything we desire. You know, the present moment is always that perfect place where we can look around us and say, you know, we have a roof over our head, we have clothes on our back, we have food in our stomachs, and we have a cat that loves us, you know, or several cats, according to Reverend Kathy. This quote by who is this? Jock Church said chaos does not mean total disorder. Chaos means a multiplicity of possibilities. Think about that. That's a different definition than we've ever heard before, right? Chaos is from the ancient Greek words that mean a thing that is birthed from the void. And if it was about that which is possible, and it was about that which is possible, not about disorder. You know, we talk about chaos. Confusion is the doorway to understanding. And sometimes chaos looks like confusion, doesn't it? Well, I'm not going to go into that. I don't know about you, but some of my goals didn't materialize, and I'm eternally grateful. Eternally grateful. Because the chaos resulting from marrying an embezzler who went to prison for a significant period of time, or marrying an abusive deputy sheriff whose only outlet for his anger was beating on people he arrested, was an impossible outcome. What if the God of our understanding, who always says, yes, Maureen, you can't marry either of these yahoos? You know, there's that possibility. Now, some of the traditional religious scientists would take issue with that statement because it's one thing is diametrically opposed to the other. But it served as a measurement of what I didn't want in my life. You know, everything I think that we perceive as an error or a mistake, it's just part of the experiment of life. Call it an experiment and move on. Don't hold on to past errors or past transgressions. They're experiments. We lived it, we did it, get over it. That's really the best metaphysical advice you'll ever get. The talk title, being a possibilitarian, and if all the guest speakers followed the talk notes sent out by CSL Golden, and you were here every week, you might be getting the message. This is the 5th week, right? The monthly theme, like I said, was what if? So the question we need to ask is, what if we let go of every illusion of separation? Every illusion of separation we have, what would we dare to dream into reality? It's a good question, don't you think? Mm-hmm. We could write a paper on that. Separation of what, you might ask? Separation of what? Separation from spirit, who always says yes. Heal the sense of separation, and everything we imagine and embody in our world shows us that every person is beloved. Every person. We might think that some people and how they behave are not as beloved as other people. But if you've ever had children, you know, you don't stop loving your 2-year-old because they behave badly. You may not like the behavior. So let's separate behavior from the person, the intrinsic person. Everyone is beloved and is a necessary expression of spirit, whether we think so or not. No exceptions, no limits, just the infinite possibility of love in action. If we've raised children, like I said, we've known that the love of our children is at the forefront of why we even tolerate some of the behavior a lot of the times. And some of us, as parents, tolerate bad behavior long after something should have been done about it. But we put up with it because we love these children. The same goes for our adult friends a lot of times, our government officials and our family members and our spiritual leaders. We tolerate bad behavior in all those areas because we know that this isn't the real you. This isn't the real person. It's someone acting out. The affirmation for today is this: I live as proof that we are one spirit, limitless and loved. Say that together. I live as proof that we are one spirit, limitless and loved. So possibility thinking is the mindset of focusing on solutions and our potential rather than our limitations. You know, we've made complaining an art form. Seriously. You know, I have conversations with some of my friends that are just a total crybaby moment, you know, complaining about this and that and the other thing. And I know they get tired of hearing me say this, but change your thinking and change your life. Stop complaining. You know, one time I had a session with Terry Cole Whitaker. Some of you will remember who she is. And it was short and sweet, a very short session. I gave her my whole sob story. I cried a little bit. I laughed a little bit. I felt stupid a little bit. And in the end, she says, do you want to hear my solution to that? And I said, yes, that's what I'm here for. She said, stop that. And she got up and walked out of the room. I sat there for a long time afterwards, thinking about it. So if you look at the word, Pinterest had this on a while back. Nothing is impossible. Nothing is impossible. And the word itself has within it, I'm possible. You know, it involves shifting from I can't to how can I? To transform obstacles into opportunities. You know, every obstacle is an opportunity. Every single obstacle in our lives is an opportunity. What is the opportunity? To rethink what we're doing. To rethink it. We've got to get to the place, from the place of I can't, to where we believe in the unseen or the undone and begin embracing the potential for greatness. My friend and buddy Les Brown said, you are greatness in demonstration. Everyone here, I am greatness in demonstration. So how does that look? So my parents gave me the ability and a belief in myself and in all the possibilities life has to offer. I was told the only limitations I would ever face were those I placed upon myself. That's a quote by Dionne Warwick. Look where she ended up. You know, in a time in the 60s, late 50s, 60s, you know, when black artists were not as welcomed as they are today. But Ernest Holmes also said in Love and Law, there is only one thing I ask, and that is that you believe absolutely that this thing works. This thing called the science of mind works. If we do not believe it works, it will not work, but it's still working by not working. You know, because we believe everything is belief. Everything is belief. You know, what kind of BS have you been pushing around in your world? Not the one you think I mean, belief system. What kind of a belief system have you been messing around with? Maybe it is the other BS. You know, maybe that is. That might work for a while, but it isn't sustainable. Belief is the power of mind in action. And when coupled with faith, there is nothing we've ever seen or will ever see that is simply the result of mind in action. Everything we do is mind in action. Turning on the engine of our car, throwing a light switch. Do we think about the lights going on? No, we don't. Do we turn the car on and wonder if it'll start? I think the only time that ever happened to me was when I had when something was wrong in the key system on my car. And then for several days afterwards, I would say to myself as I went to the car, I wonder if the car is going to start today. But I got over that. Once it kept starting over and over again. Everything is created twice, first as an idea and then in form. So what kind of form are we producing? What does our life look like right now? How big is our imagination today? Somebody talked about imagination recently. And how big is the required outcome today? What Andrea was talking about this morning a little bit. Now, this is a long quote, but worth looking at. I want you to read it as I speak it. You read it too. I want to endeavor to show you how you can become less limited. This is Ernest Holmes talking, by the way. I say again, this will mean absolutely nothing to you. It is worthless, useless, unless you absolutely believe it. And not only believe it, but that you go right at it as though you had always known it. And it had always worked, and there was no possibility of failure. Does that remind anybody of the Wizard of Oz? You know, she always had the power. Remember at the very end when she clicked her heels together to get back to Kansas? You will get the biggest results if you will say nothing to anybody about what you want to do. And that means playing our cards close to the chest. You know, keep those good thoughts to ourselves, because there'll be naysayers in our lives who'll say, you'll never be able to do that. You can't do that. Are you freezing in here? Yes. Well, too bad. No, never mind. Sorry. Don't cast your pearls before swine, as it says in the Bible, right? Don't cast your pearls. Don't tell somebody your dreams or your goals or your aims. That isn't someone who has a possibility mentality. Don't do that. Only speak that to possibilitarians. If we could add to the commandments, Ernest Holmes says, the greatest would be mind your own business. I mean, that means when we have a dream or a goal or an aim, that's our business. You know, keep it close. Keep it close. The only people who need to know that are the ones who are noticing that you've succeeded at something that they've struggled with their whole life. And then they'll want to know how you did it. And you can tell them to come to the super center. Okay? Look, when we know our oneness with God, when we know it unequivocally, with God and law, a great burden will be lifted from us, as Ernest says, because there will be no further struggle in making a demonstration. The sense of opposition goes away. You know, that feeling that it's not going to happen, because you pay attention to the small things that do happen, and the small things prime the pump for the bigger things that are going to happen. We won't ever argue for our limitations ever again. The logical mind wants to do that. But the heart mind says, you can do anything, baby. Go for it. You know, we have a fully orbed consciousness of unity, someplace, somewhere in our cellular memory. Am I there yet? Are we there yet? Sometimes, not all the time. You know, none of us walk on water just yet. None of us can turn water into wine, although some people try. I know that. So here, what we have is imagination, and it is there for us to use. Neville Goddard said, imagination and faith are the secrets of creation. Now, faith has two components. You can have the faith in God, or you can have the faith of God. I've talked about this already the first Sunday of the month. Neville Goddard is an Englishman. I saw him in 1968 at the Masonic Temple up on the high part of California Street across from the Fairmont Hotel. 3,000 people. You could hear a pin drop. And I thought then, I cried through the whole talk. You've heard this story before. I tell it often because it put me on a search for the mother lode. And the science of mind and religious science for me is the mother lode. But I thought to myself, if there were a church like this, I'd attend. It took me until 1974 to find Founders Church, which is at 7th and Berendo, the first Los Angeles Church of Religious Science. So imagine a world where we remember every moment, that we are each living the breath of the one Spirit, woven together in a tapestry of infinite worth. You know, one of the things I know about kids these days, teenagers, is there is a lack of self-worth. I mean, I thought it was difficult when I was growing up. But right now, there's a tremendous difficulty. There's loneliness, there's sadness, there's otherness with our teenagers and our 20-year-olds. And I think a lot of it has to do with modern technology. We don't have to engage one-on-one with people. You know, one of my favorite artists is Harold Blaze from the Pacific Northwest. And he talked about, in a little book that he wrote, he spoke about how we don't visit our neighbors anymore. We don't just, well, let's go over and visit Tatiana's family. Or let's go over and visit the people who live next door to me. We don't do that anymore. And there's something that's lost there a little bit. Lost. You know, love is not a choice. It's a natural cause. And that cause has an effect in our lives. When we love, we are loved. Emerson said, the ornament of a house is the friends who frequent it. People who come to visit us, we go to visit, those are the ornaments in our lives. That's one of the greater truths. In order to have a friend, we've got to be a friend. In this knowing, love isn't a choice, but it's a natural state again. Every smile becomes an act of healing. Richard Gere did an experiment when he became a Buddhist. He put on the mantle of Buddhism immediately. And he said, I walk down the street and smile at people, make eye contact with them. And he said, in my heart, in my mind, I wish them happiness. And they don't know what I'm saying, but something shifts and changes as I walk past each person. Every decision shapes a world. Every word carries the power to bless. You know, every decision shapes a world where justice and joy flow without end. Here, borders dissolve, scarcity disappears, and the impossible becomes the everyday. This is the vision we are here to live, not in the present moment, not someday, not tomorrow. Tomorrow never comes. But now, in the present moment. What if we really, truly, deeply knew this? What if we could embrace it? Hook, line, and sinker, as the saying goes. There's that theme for the month again. What if, indeed? Not just in theory, but in practice. You know, you can be in the science of mind your whole life and never make any strides in it because it's all theory and no practice. You're only learning the science of mind from the neck up. It has to make the 18-inch journey from the head to the heart. And sometimes it's less easy to do that with certain people. What if, not only on paper, but in real life, that we could see the practice of what it is that we're teaching here at this super center? I'm going to do that all the time. What if, without exception, caveat, asterisk, side note, footnote, or qualifier, we believed in a world that works for everyone, that it's not only possible, but inevitable. Possible. Possibilitarians. We are all possibilitarians. And what if the proof came only when we actually practiced all that we teach on oneness? You know, when you really know how to work the science of mind in our lives, when we really know how to work the science of mind in our lives, we can't keep it for ourselves. We have to share it with other people. Sometimes to the effect that it alienates people because we are speaking in a way that someone else just cannot grasp. Not right now, but you may be planting a seed. And I think that's the most important aspect. Even inviting people to the center, inviting friends to come and hear what has to be said. If oneness is much more than a concept. It's the idea that is a little far-fetched right now in a world that is not working for everyone. If oneness were more than a concept, our imagination would be absolutely free to paint an entirely new picture of what's possible. That makes me feel so emotional. You know, that the sky's the limit. Each one of us would have the power, the creative power, to let that happen. We would envision Granada Hills, our workplaces, the governments, including those running them, operating from the knowledge that we are all necessary and sacred. And it would outpicture us a world that works for everyone. Hope has nothing to do with this idea. You know, we feel it in our bones, in our hearts, and our souls. And we see it as a possibility, and the imagination is boundless. There are no boundaries of any kind. Our lives begin to match the vision. What could change if we imagine daily and vividly a world healed by love? This is spiritual practice at its highest and best. Understand this. Our imagination is not a fantasy. It's the mind of spirit expressing through us. In this truth, lack and separation dissolve, and new possibilities emerge. Policies that protect all life, technologies that heal rather than harm, resulting in thriving communities. Holmes reminds us that belief alone is not enough. We must live it as if what we envision is inevitable. Imagination then becomes a rehearsal for real life. You ever think like that? We imagine ourselves moving through the world with ease and kindness and prosperity, not someday, but right now. Mind your own business becomes a call to keep our mental state filled with images, experiences, and expressions we desire for the good of all, not just ourselves. If I have this, then somebody else has it. If I have it, Scotty has it. If I have it, Myrna has it. If I have it, Steve has it. You know, there's no mine and yours. It's ours. It's all ours. What if the world we imagine together is not just possible, but already unfolding through our willingness to embody it? So what is mine to do this week and every week thereafter? By imagining a world that works for all of us as already real, we move beyond limitation, dissolving fear and scarcity in our personal lives and the systems we share. And when we practice this vision consistently, joyfully, and without exception, we become living demonstrations of this world. The invitation is simple, yet profound. Believe it works, imagine it fully, and live as though it were always true. In doing so, we don't just dream of the inevitable, we help it arrive. Give it a little push periodically. And sometimes the pushes come by sharing this information with other people. Remember the Chinese proverb, fall down 7 times, get up 8. This week, let's use our imagination as our spiritual practice. Take a few moments each day to imagine a world where everyone is recognized as necessary, worthy, and a beloved part of the one spirit. Envision ourselves going through that world and how we greet others, how decisions are made, and how communities thrive. Be a possibilitarian. Live as if the world you imagine is already here. Each day, choose one simple action that reflects the world you believe in. Offer a genuine smile, speak words that uplift, extend kindness without condition, or listen deeply without rushing to respond. When we notice judgment or separation in our thoughts, pause and replace them with a mental image of oneness and shared worth. As an India Ari song suggests, we are the ones we've been waiting for. We can change the world. We can change the world with our love. Protect your vision for your world by not explaining or defending it, just live it. Trust that each loving choice is a seed planted in a field of possibility, already growing into the world that works for all. Think about that tree Andrea spoke about. We are the leaders we've been waiting for, knowing with God all things are possible. Will you join me in consciousness, please? And go within for just a minute. And just know that the power and presence of Spirit so loved itself that it needed form to express. And it expresses as each one of us here today, and all those listening on the live stream, that we are here by right of consciousness. We are here by divine appointment. That this sanctuary today, if even one person were missing, it would not be the same. That we are here to know the truth about ourselves with a capital T. Capital T truth. That God is all there is. Spirit is all there is. And I am aligned, I am connected, I am imbued with that Spirit within. It isn't something I can gain more of. I can become more aware of the power and presence of Spirit in my life. And so I know this for each one of us today, that we are possibilitarians. We see the possible where the improbable seems to take form. And yet we are willing to look beyond what isn't to what is and what can become when we let go and let God and know for certain that our place in it is already secured, that we are loved regardless of what we do and who we are. We are simply loved and lovable. For this truth, I am truly grateful today. As I joyfully receive and give thanks, I know that God is in the mix. All is well, as we say together, and so it is.
Brother, I need to talk to you, and it might sound strange. You probably think I'm crazy and I lost my mind. Okay. I'm amazing. I'm incredible. I'm a miracle. I'm beautiful, but guess what? So are you. Oh, people, it's becoming clear. I can feel it down in my soul. I know that I am you. And you are me. Uh-oh. Yeah, and I'm grateful for the simple things that we take for granted every day. Listen, I can walk, I can talk, I can use my mind. Okay. beautiful. But guess what? So are you. Yeah, well, that don't mean that we're better than anyone. Anything, yeah, to come together and accept the possibility, and just be amazing. Let's be incredible, because we're a miracle, a dream come true. We're marvelous and we're beautiful. Guess what? We all are too. Ooh, yeah, yeah, we're amazing.
Well, they turned the air off again. Darn it. Just can't believe it. So it's time for our offertory, that part of the service that is what we do to contribute to the ongoing financial health and well-being of the center. And we are a super center, and there are super people here in no uncertain terms. And so if you turn and look at the person sitting next to you, don't have to say anything, just give them the eye a little bit and let them know that they belong. And if there's somebody here today that you don't know, extend a welcome to that person. You know, they have really good snacks in there and good coffee and, wait a minute, they have decent coffee. Let's put it that way. A decent coffee. So if you hold your gift in your hand, I'll get mine out of my other pocket. I saw a sign in one restaurant, we don't take any bra money. During the pandemic, they said, we don't take any bra money. I thought that was the funniest thing I ever saw. Okay, so repeat this with me. Divine love consecrates my gift. It goes forth to heal, to prosper, and to bless. It is evidence of my conviction that God is the source and substance of my supply. I joyously contribute to the vision of this center, knowing that it returns to me multiplied abundantly. Thank you, Chloe. Just make your way up if you've come with something to share this morning.
Spirit gives through me, Spirit receives through me, Spirit lives and breathes through me, Spirit lives and breathes through me, Spirit gives through us, Spirit receives through us, Spirit lives and breathes through us, Spirit lives and breathes through us.
And so it is. Through the simple donate button on the website. Any ways that these monies come, we know that they return abundantly through the law of circulation, and we are grateful beyond the words to express. And so it is. So let us give Teresa another hand. Let's thank our audio-visual team. And of course, Reverend Maureen. And thank all of you for being here. It's great when I show up and there's no place to park in the back. I just love that because I know the seats are filling up. So please join me once again in prayer as we close this service, recognizing and declaring once again that there's only one thing going on here, and that is the divine and perfect activity of infinite intelligence. How grateful I am to recognize, to remember once again that God is all there is. And in knowing this, I know that it is expressing as my life, as the life of each individual here. And I'm grateful to know that we leave here different than we were when we arrived, knowing that every illusion of separation is dissolved and healed. And we live as proof that we are one spirit, limitless and loved. We believe this, we know it to be true, we go forth acting in this manner, living in a world that works for everyone. And for this, I remain thankful and grateful as I lovingly release this word once again to that aspect of infinite intelligence that we call law, which only says yes. So I release it now, knowing that it is so. I declare it to be so. And we affirm this together by saying, and so it is. Amen. Please join us for the peace song.